slow. Was he slow? No. Was he slow? Yep, devil behind the wheel. Was he slow? No. Good kid, devil behind the wheel. Was he slow? Was he slow? No. Was he slow? Yep, devil behind the wheel.
24-pin ATX. ATX, or Advanced Technology Extended, is a motherboard and power supply configuration specification developed by Intel in 1995 to improve on previous de facto standards like the 80 design. It was the first major change in desktop computer enclosure, motherboard, and power supply design in many years, improving standardization and interchangeability of parts. Floppy disk drive, or FDD, stands for floppy disk drive. Although most computers no longer use floppy drives, the FDD connector is still present on many motherboards. The FDD connector contains 34 pins and uses a FDD ribbon cable to connect to a 3.5 floppy disk drive. 4-pin ATX. The ATX 4-pin power supply connector is a standard motherboard power connector used to provide plus 12 VDC to the processor voltage regulator.
BIOS. The BIOS, or Basic Input-Output System, is a firmware stored in a chip on the computer's motherboard. It is the first program that runs when you turn on your computer. CMOS jumper. The jumper is to reset the BIOS to its default settings.
CMOS, a battery that maintains the time, date, hard disk, and other configuration settings in the CMOS memory. CMOS batteries are small and are attached directly to the motherboard. The terms BIOS and CMOS both refer to essential parts of your computer's motherboard. They work together and they're both important. Front panel connector. The front panel header is where the connectors of hard disk drive, activity lights, case speaker, reset button, power on and off button, computer power on light, and key lock are connected to make them function smoothly. Front USB connector. Typically, universal serial bus or USB ports are located on the front or back of the computer. These ports are designed to function with a number of different devices, and for this reason, they need to be easily accessible to the user of the computer. Memory slot. A memory slot, memory socket, or RAM slot is what allows RAM or computer memory to be inserted into the computer. Most motherboards have 2 to 4 memory slots, which determine the type of RAM used with the computer. The most common types of RAM are SDRAM and DDR for desktop computers, and SODIMM for laptop computers, each having various types and speed. North and South bridge. A North bridge or host bridge is one of the 2 chips in the core logic chipset architecture on a PC motherboard, the other being the South bridge. Unlike the South bridge, North bridge is connected directly to the CPU via the front side bus or FSB, and thus responsible for tasks that require the highest performance. The North bridge, also known as Memory Controller Hub, is usually paired with a South bridge. The South bridge typically implements the slower capabilities of the motherboard in a onboard peripheral. A peripheral or peripheral device is an ancillary device used to put information into and get information out of the computer. PCI Express or Peripheral Component Interconnect Express, officially abbreviated as PCIe, is a high-speed serial computer expansion bus standard designed to replace the older PCI, PCIX, and AGP bus standards. It is the common motherboard interface for personal computers, graphics cards, hard drives, SSDs, Wi-Fi, and Ethernet hardware connections.
PCI stands for Peripheral Component Interconnect. PCI is a hardware bus used for adding internal components to a desktop computer.
SATA, abbreviated from Serial Advanced Technology Attachment, is a computer bus interface that connects host bus adapters to mass storage devices such as hard disk drives, optical drives, and solid-state drives.
Central Processing Unit. A central processing unit, also called a central processor or main processor, is the electronic circuitry within a computer that executes instructions that make up a computer program. Hard disk drive is a non-volatile computer storage device containing magnetic disk or platters rotating at high speeds. It is a secondary storage device used to store data permanently.
Retarded means slow. Is he slow? No. Slow, slow, slow.